The Leadville 100, one of the most iconic 100-mile races in the country, across Colorado, the race across the sky. My good buddy and I, Nick Crum, accidentally earned a berth into this race at the Austin Rattler November of 23, earning ourselves lottery coins into this historic race. Follow our training as we prepare for the one and only Leadville 100.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to you out there. Welcome back to Leadville training vlog number 3. Training is going fantastic, guys. We're going to fill you in a little bit on that as this run goes. It is Sunday, May something. We'll catch that date up here in a little bit. This run will make mile 40 for this week. Last week was 44 miles. So in the last 2 weeks since our last update, we've put in 88 miles of running. We'll throw some Strava data up there for you so you can see the average time, heart rate, and vert we've been climbing the last 2 weeks. Zone 2 training is working out really well, guys. My heart rate's starting to decrease. I'm able to manage it. I ran 14 miles yesterday out and back here in Alpine, and I was able to average a 11:45 pace with a heart rate of around 143. 7 miles was mostly downhill. 7 miles back was mostly uphill. Really proud of that run. Holding back, I think I've got some speed in me. I think I could dial that in and get that a much quicker, but that's not the purpose right now. Also add some intervals and some sprint workouts in there. I was in Houston last week for work, and me and Jason Appuccino went for a 6-mile run. Ran at his pace, well, not at his pace, but a modified version of his pace. We ran, you know, a 10-minute average down into the 9s at some points. The heat had my heart rate a little bit high, but it was nice to know I had that speed comfortably. So I've got the speed. It's starting to get better. We are less than 100 days out from Leadville right now, which is crazy to think. Time is running out. It's slipping away. May is halfway done now. It's Mother's Day today, so that'll give you a date. Yeah, training's going really good, guys. So today we're gonna do 10 miles in the mountains. We're gonna try to get between 2,500 and 3,000 feet of vert. I've been doing a lot of street running, a lot of road running, so Sunday today is gonna be my climbing day. 2,500 to 3,000 feet of climb in 10 miles. That'll put me a little over 40 miles for the week. And then today we're gonna fill you in on another piece of equipment. Last time we talked about shoes. Today we're gonna talk about socks. We're gonna talk about brand of socks, why, application, usage, INJINJI toe socks, creeper toe socks. I know what you're thinking, toe socks, really, Brad, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it a little bit here in a little bit, guys. These socks are endorsed by Courtney DeWalter. Those of you that know ultra running know that's a big deal. Anyway, we're only about 2 miles into this, guys, so let me get some mileage behind us and we'll catch up with you here in a little bit. All right, guys, welcome back to the house. Run is over. Excellent training run. Ended up being about 10.5 miles and almost like 6 feet from being 2,300 feet of climbing. I'll post some Strava data here so you guys can see it, or Strava data so you guys can see it. Great training run, another great week. Weekly mileage was a little bit lower this week from last due to traveling for work, going down to Houston. But overall, 2 weeks, we're at 84 miles. I'm feeling really good, 4,000 or 5,000 feet of climbing, body's recovering well. Zone 2 training is really working for me. I'm able to maintain my heart rate, which is something I've always struggled with as a runner. So very positive. We've got 2 weeks left in this month. I'm gonna try to get another 80 miles. This coming week should be no problem. The following week, Corey and I are on vacation, so we're gonna be out of the country, so I've tried to get creative with some running there, but cross training won't be an issue because I will get to do some surfing while we're gone. Surfing is my jam, those of y'all that know me. But yeah, I will struggle to get mileage that week, but it's gonna be okay. I think I can get it. My goal is 160 this month. Moving out of May into June, we're gonna ramp that up again, try to get 170 or 180. We are planning something right now, really fun with the boys. Some of the guys that are running with us as crew, and then Nick and his wife coming up in June. And I'm putting together a really fun, really difficult, very technical 40-mile route here through the mountains. I got on Google Earth today and I put together a 20-mile track with about 6,000 feet of climbing that goes up to a local waterfall here nearby, the Horsetail Falls. We're gonna do that twice in June. I'm thinking maybe the second weekend of June. So we'll do a little 40-mile training run with the guys there. So training's going well.
body feels great, recovery is great. I'm not having trouble finding time to plug these long runs in. Corey is super supportive. She's not mad at me for being on the road 3-4 hours at a time on the weekends, getting these runs in. Feeling confident, guys, feeling really good about going into Leadville in, what, 14 weeks now? Less than 100 days? Let that sink in. Less than 100 days, we've got to go 100 miles. It's a lot to do between now and then, but now we're going to do a little bit of a gear review. Each one of these training vlogs, we're going to talk about a different piece of equipment that we're trying to dial in. Last video, we talked about the Brooks Ghost 15, which I still feel like are going to be my primary shoe for the road running out to Hope Pass. I did do that 11 mile run yesterday in those Brooks Ghosts on the trails, and that is not a technical trail shoe. That is a great breathable shoe with a lot of room in the upper, but it wasn't quite stable enough on some of the technical trails to keep my foot in place. So we are waiting on delivery of a Brooks Catamount 3 coming in right now, which is a carbon plated trail shoe. Hopefully that'll be our shoe, but we're gonna get that in, I think, tomorrow, and then we'll start pounding some miles in on it. So I'll do an update video on the Brooks Catamount 3 once I get 30 or 40 miles on it and make sure that's gonna be the shoe for me. But on this one, we're gonna talk about socks. We're gonna talk about the socks that I love and the socks I'm using and some of the greatest runners on the planet use, trail runners that is, and that is INJINJI toe socks. So let's make sure we're focused here. INJINJI toe socks are something that I first heard about listening to Nick Bear's podcast with Courtney DeWalter. And what they are is they're a little bit thicker sock, but they're a toe sock. Now I know what you're thinking, guys. I'm not wearing no toe sock. I have not had a blister, not one blister, since I started wearing INJINJI toe socks. And the technique here is, and again, from Courtney DeWalter, is squirrel's nut butter or body glide or some sort of chafe preventative. Take and rub your feet down, all between your toes. Get every piece of foot that's gonna be covered by that sock covered. And squirrel's nut butter is what I prefer. It's a little bit thicker. And then put your socks on and put your toe in those toe garages. And I'm telling you, it is a miracle. No blisters, no hot spots, no wear, no tear. I've run a couple full marathons in these, run the 50K, the Austin Rattler in these. And then every training run I do here at home that's over 10 miles, I wear INJINJI toe socks. If I'm going out for a 5 or 6 mile run, obviously I just slap on a good pair of socks and go run. I don't worry about lubing up my feet and everything, but anything over about 10 miles, especially if I'm gonna be in the trails, squirrel's nut butter or body glide, and then those INJINJI socks. I prefer the midweight. I think Nick, my buddy that's running Leadville as well, I believe he prefers the midweight. I don't find them to be too cumbersome inside the shoe. Don't find them to bunch. Don't find them to ball up in any areas, uphill, downhill, or on flats or straightaways. All in all, an amazing, amazing sock. What I do need to test on these is how quickly they dry. Parts of Leadville, you do have to wade through water shin deep, maybe knee deep. I do want to see how quickly they dry. I've gotten my feet wet in them before and I've had no issues, but I do plan to, this is going to sound silly, but I do plan here in the next few weeks to step off on a 12 miler in the mountains with a lot of climbing. And I do intend to just stick my foot in a 5-gallon bucket full of water and then take off on a run and see what happens. They seem to shed water and sweat very well. When I take them off after long runs, there's no excessive sweating or issues. So INJINJI toe socks to me are a life changer. If you haven't tried them yet, go on Amazon, look up INJINJI trail socks. They're a little expensive, between $16 and $22, but order yourself a pair. I like the kind of mid-calf length. They do come in a shorter size. This is a mini crew size here. So I have them in the mini crew, and I do have them in a little bit longer, kind of the crew size mid-calf. I like both. If I'm on the trails, I like a little bit taller sock. Almost acts like a little bit of a compression sock on top of it. We're also going to talk about a second place sock that I've found here recently, and I just ordered a third pair, is these creepers. They're merino wool. They're a little bit thinner. They're a really nice sock. They're also a toe sock, obviously, but they are a great, comfortable sock. They're just a taste thinner than these mid-weight Injinjis, but I have no issues with these. They stay up on my leg well. They do not bunch, they do not slide, they do not slip. And again, no blisters at all when I'm wearing the Creeper socks. INJINJI will be my race day sock, and it will be my backup sock for any sock changes at Leadville in August. I will be wearing these, and they do come in some awesome colors too, by the way. But Creepers, same price range. $16 to $22 a pair. They are expensive, but I think fighting blisters and your feet being comfortable is worth the money. So the INJINJIs will be my game day sock. I will continue to wear these Creeper Merino socks for training, but I just want to give you guys an option if you're into it and you happen to try INJINJIs and you're like, nope, they're not for me. Maybe the Creepers are for you. Any runner out there, any marathoner, ultramarathoner, trail runner, beginner, seasoned, Courtney DeWalter, Billy Yang, any of you that aren't using these, everybody needs to be wearing INJINJI toe socks. I am not sponsored athlete, I am just an addict. So that's our equipment for today is socks. No questions to that, no change to that. That'll be the game day sock, guys. So anyway, thank you for tuning in for training vlog number 3 for Leadville 100 2024. We'll close this thing out, and in 2 weeks we'll see you again with our update. Like I said, I'll be running here at home all this coming week, and then the following week Corey and I on vacation, so it'll be struggle to get some miles in on the beach down in Costa Rica where it's hot and humid, but I'm gonna work on some hills down there. I'm gonna work on some beach runs, maybe some hikes so I can get some miles in, and then plenty of surfing. So I'll be a whole lot different tan man next time you see me on these updates, guys. So anyway, thank you very much for all of the support. Thank you for following us through what is not a traditional video for See You Out There. And thank you for allowing me a place to post these vlogs and go back and remember this huge moment in my life. So thank you very much. Appreciate all of the support. And as usual, we'll see you out there. Yo!